Hey guys, how you doing? It's Chris. You answering me? How you doing? Hope everyone's doing okay. Anyway, on a lighter note, let's talk about the demon of death that they're worshiping in Mexico. I've known about this demon a long time. Basically, it's really not a demon. You're straight up worshiping Satan if you worship Santa Muerte. You're straight up worshiping Satan if you worship Mary in the Roman Catholic Church. It's the same deity. It's the same exact deity. I'm going to show you the similarities. Aside from the Roman Catholic Church, I'm just going to try and talk about what they're doing down in Mexico with the drug cartels. This demon is the chosen demon that almost all cartel members are devoted to this spirit. And what they do with this spirit is very interesting. I was very interested in it when I was before I was saved and I was into doing stupid things. Because what these demons will do, what these cartel members will do is they'll lay the kilos down before the idol, before the big statue of the Grim Reaper looking Santa Muerte. And they invoke the demon of death into the drugs. And when they invoke, as a trade-off, what they're doing is they're offering the drugs to the demon. Now, when you offer something to a demon, a demon multiplies. Spirits don't work like people. They can multiply themselves. There's no space in the spirit. And if the spirit works by intent, and it's hard to explain, but once they offer this stuff onto the demon, legions of that demon go into the product, and the demon actually guards that product as it goes across the border or in a plane or wherever it goes. In the spirit realm, there's spirits following those kilos that are under the authority of Satan. They're demons, and they follow the drugs, and when it's passing customs, spirits will leave some spirits will leave the drugs and enter the customs agents, and they'll make the customs agent pick different cars to search, but the car that has the drugs will just slide right by. And they'll get away. And it's through occultic power, because there's a demon in the cop that controls his mind. Now, if a cop's a born-again Christian, they can't do that. But then again, there's not too many born-again Christian cops, because they do psychological testing on these guys before they hire them. They screen their personality. If you're a Christian, you're not going to be a beat cop. No way. Not a real Christian. Roman Catholic, yeah, it's an open floodgates. But if you're a follower of Jesus Christ and you're a spiritual Christian, the law enforcement society has no use for you, because you're not mind controllable. Once you're a born again Christian, they can't control your mind anymore. Now, watch this little video here. I'm gonna put this video on. You know, the news reporter is a beautiful woman. She's using the spirit of seduction in her eyes. And the guy she's interviewing has a spirit of homosexuality. They chose him because he's just some patsy professor that they could get to spread the lie that they want, which is not connecting Satan to this whole scheme, because the demon of Santa Muerte is basically Satan worship. That's why Santa Claus, Santa Muerte, Christmas is of the devil, so is this. If you switch the letters of Santa around, you get Satan. So, go figure. But they choose this guy who calls himself a professor, which is basically professor to a spiritual Christian should mean to you a moron that was trained by the world to tell you what you need to hear to make the satanic agenda come to pass. That's the definition of a professor in college, everywhere. A professor in grade school. Did you ever wonder why in grade school everything you learn you don't need in the world? Because they had to come up with things to just teach you that don't matter. Because they don't want to teach you about the spirits and Satan and God. They don't want to teach you the truth. So they make you learn calculus when you don't even know who Jesus Christ is. Yet, I don't remember the last time I used calculus, do you? In my everyday life. So take a look at this video. You know, I'm not going to stop this one, but we're going to look at a couple videos, so take a look.
Well, right now, just south of the Arizona border, police in Mexico are investigating a cult suspected in 3 cases of ritual human sacrifice. The cult's leader and 7 of her relatives are accused of killing 2 children and a 55-year-old woman, offering their blood to La Santa Muerte, the Saint Death. We wanted to learn more about this. It really caught our attention. Andrew Chesson is a professor of religious studies at Virginia Commonwealth University. He just recently published a book on La Santa Muerte. Dr. Chestnut, what is this cult all about?
This cult basically is about the worship of Santa Muerte, Saint Death, who is a Mexican folk saint and basically personifies death. If you look at her, in fact, I have a votive candle of her, you see that she is the female image of the Grim Reaper. In fact, in my book, I call her the Grim Reaperess.
I'm sorry, I told you I wasn't going to stop it, but this imbecile, when she asked what it is, he's like, it's basically a folk saint that personifies death. That's all it is. Yet its followers are growing by the millions because they're actually getting demon power and they're getting things from this demon by giving it offerings. Like cigarettes, weed, they offer it everything. Everything, alcohol. Just like in Major League when Serrano blew the cigar at Jobu and had the little Colombian red-tail boa, you know, and the rum. Same junk, guys. Same age-old giving demons offerings. Same stuff.
Ayúdame en este momento. Ahora siempre poderoso.
¿Qué pasa there, Pedro?
Bats. They are sick. I cannot hit curveball. Straight ball, I hit it very much. Curveball. Bats are afraid. I asked Jobu to come. Take fear from bats. I offer him cigar and rum. He will come.
You know, you might think about taking Jesus Christ as your savior instead of fooling around with all this stuff.
Shit, Harris.
Jesus. I like him very much. He's very bad.
In the last 10 years, her cult has mushroomed. We're probably looking at 10 million devotees now on both sides of the border.
So how often are these ritual sacrifices happening? And I mean, is that part of the cult?
No. If this turns out to be a substantiated case of ritual human sacrifice, it will be the first substantiated case in the 10 years since the cult has gone public. So most devotees would reject this as an extreme, abhorrent aberration of what they see as kind of traditional Santa Muerte practice.
Now this guy, instead of saying, this is an idol, where there's demons, the people are getting demon possessed and Satan's behind this whole thing. He's like, well, I have a little candle. This is basically what it is, you know. I got like 50 demons of homosexuality in me. I don't believe in Jesus and I don't even know what I'm talking about. But this is a candle this is what they're worshiping. He personifies death. Are people going to wake up soon or what? Let's keep watching.
Interesting. You know, what about, you said in the last 10 years it's really mushroomed, and obviously the violence at the border has certainly gotten a lot more attention with the power of the drug cartels. Is there a connection between the rise of power of some of these drug cartels and the drug violence and the rise of well, I don't want to say followers, I don't know really what to call them, devotees of this cult?
Yeah, devotees is a good... Yeah, definite connection. In fact, that's what prompted me to start the research for my book, is that in 2009, President Calderon in Mexico sent in the Mexican army with backhoes, bulldozers, and bulldozed over 40 Santa Muerte shrines on the U.S.-Mexican border, mostly across from Texas and California. So she's been identified by the Mexican government as religious enemy #1. And this is because, yes, she is the patroness of many in the Mexican drug cartels.
It's very interesting. It's a story we'd like to continue to watch here on Happening Now. Dr. Chestnut, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to having you back.
My pleasure, Jenna.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
This guy seems very happy that the Satanic Kingdom has chosen him to make money off of this scam. He's he's usable by Satan because he's got demons in him. And I just want to look at a couple other things. We're going to look at another video, but before we do that, you guys need to realize that they're sacrificing blood onto this thing, just like in the days of old. This is what is going to come of this Santa Muerte in Mexico. It's going to be... The crime on the border is going to multiply rapidly. People are going to be dying. This is the culprit for all the dead children in America that die of an overdose. It was a spirit that was invoked in Mexico that ended up killing the children in the United States. Now, real quick, in the TV show Breaking Bad, I used to watch it all the time before I was saved. They put a little skit on about this demon, and you know what? Here's a few images of that right now. You need to realize Satan sneaks this stuff into television. He's trying to put this into the mainstream. Now, I'm going to show you a video now where the Roman Catholic Church they always use the Roman Catholic Church as the anti-evil. So, you don't want evil, so you better run to the evil in the Roman Catholic Church where they're dressed like satanic priests and they're worshiping idols. And this video is going to show you that. They're going to say, well, the people that worship Santa Muerte, they weren't accepted in the Roman Catholic Church or in the Church of the True Virgin. They call it the True Virgin. They don't even call it Jesus Christ Church. That's the Church of the True Pagan Virgin. Santa Muerte is a false pagan virgin. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't, if you watch the news. So you better follow Jesus Christ. Let's take a look at this video where there's people crawling down the street on their knees, on their hands and knees to worship this demon, Satan. This satanic death demon. Yet I've never seen anybody crawl down the street on their knees for Jesus Christ in my entire life. And everyone's doing it in Mexico for Satan. Let's take a look.
On the first day of every month, thousands of people flock to this ordinary house in Mexico City to take part in a bizarre ritual. Worshippers come to visit the altar of a saint. But this is no ordinary saint. She is Santa Muerte, Saint Death.
Guys, notice they all have beads on. Notice they all have their own idol that they bring home and they make a shrine, just like the Bible says not to do. Do not worship the dead. Do not make a shrine. Do not worship idols. Okay? It's almost so obvious that you have to, if you follow any type of religion, you have to be stupid if you've even heard of the Bible to not realize that what you're doing is the exact opposite of what that book says, what that Bible says. Let's keep watching.
Each month, more and more people come. The day begins slowly as early bird pilgrims come to leave their offerings.
You see them coming in. You see them walking on their knees with flowers in their hands. Flowers are of the devil, okay? This is not of God. When you go to a funeral and you get flowers, that's a satanic act. The rose is a symbol of Satan. The red rose is a symbol of the devil. Valentine's Day is of the devil. Sorry, guys, it's all of Satan. Satan's the god of this world. If you really want to follow Jesus Christ the way that really makes him happy, you don't do this junk anymore. Just because everyone else is bringing flowers, you walk in without flowers. And if the person isn't of Christ, don't even walk in.
Alongside the candles and fruit, shots of tequila, marijuana, and cigarettes.
¿Me cuenta por qué has puesto el cigarrillo?
Porque a ella le gusta mucho el cigarro. Le gusta el cigarro a ella y el puro. Por eso si le pone mucho cigarro o un deseo que nos ayude, va a salir adelante.
La gente es a cada quien lo que le pone, le nace a la gente poner eso. En sí no es una cosa que te digan, se le pone esto, no, es lo que tú le quieras poner, una manzana, un dulce, marihuana, una veladora, unas flores, eso es de lo que le nace a uno, pero que le nazca de corazón poner las cosas.
Okay, this woman's saying that people offer whatever comes to their heart. Now they're demonized, and my Bible says the heart is deceitful in all its ways. So when they pick what they want to offer, what they pick is what the demon that has them possessed moves them to offer them. The demon might want weed, he might want cocaine, he might want a little girl, he might want some blood. So the more demons they get into them, that's why these sacrifices elevate. It starts with a cigarette, you empower the demon. Then it goes to a chicken, you empower that demon more. When that demon's in you and it's got a hold of your brain and it's got you bound and you're demon possessed, you have to go cut someone's neck and give it blood. This is the top level Satanists. They call the demons in. They call them in. They drink someone's blood. They steal blood out of blood banks. If you guys have given blood to a doctor, ask the Lord that if your blood, any extra blood that they didn't need for that test was given to the Illuminati, break the offering on it. Pray about it, because they're doing it. I've cast demons out of people over it. And I've never heard anyone talk about this other than me. It just came into my head one day while I was casting demons out of somebody, and I was like, Lord, any blood that the doctors took out of this person's arm, and I'm not going to mention the person's name, and that they gave it to the witches, I break the sacrifice, and the demons went nuts. This is going on. This is happening at doctors in New York, to California, to Texas, all over the country and all over the world. That little Red Cross serpent on the ambulance and all these organizations with the snake. They're stealing your blood. When you donate blood, good luck, because that blood went to witches. Most of it did, not all of it. Let's keep watching.
Enriqueta Romero set up this altar at her house 7 years ago.
Bueno, ¿usted qué busca de ella?
Yo nada, yo la amo. ¿Qué puedo buscar después de 50 años casi de quererla.
I'm sorry, this woman's so stupid. I just want to keep talking about the other things, because this woman's worshiping Satan for the sake of worshiping Satan. But back to what I was talking about before. Not only blood donating, when you check that thing on your license when you live in America and you get into a car accident and they come and they grab your organ, half of those organs are going to the Illuminati, while people are waiting on a list like dummies, like, oh, did they get a kidney for me yet? Did they get a kidney for me yet? Oh yeah, they got one for you. It's coming next month. Oh, is a kidney here yet? Oh, one more month. One more month. The Illuminati needed to eat those kidneys. We need a couple more months. They just give enough blood and body parts to keep the racket going. Just to keep the racket going. They steal as much as they can and they offer it on to demons. You don't want to check anything to let somebody take body parts out of you. Let God take people home when He wants to take them home. You keep your kidneys in your body and your lungs and your liver and your blood as much as possible in your body. In Jesus' name. But let's keep watching this because it gets dumber. It really gets dumber.
Que quiero sus bendiciones, que nos cuide a todos, que nos socorra. Si alguno tiene un hijo preso, pues que salga de la cárcel. Bueno o malo de su hijo. Que tengan trabajo, que no tengan hijos viciosos, es lo que pedimos nosotros.
Eso es mi protectora. Es mi protectora, Señor. Es mi protectora. Es mi Madre Santísima.
The cult of Saint Death is spreading quickly amongst Mexico City's criminal underworld.
Quiero pedirle que me ayude a salir adelante, tener trabajo, que esté todo mi equipo conmigo, ¿no? Más que nada.
This guy makes me laugh. In one breath he says, I asked this demon idol to help me at the line and work, which means he's cutting someone else if he asks that demon for that favor. So when he's online, if he worships that demon's flying into somebody else who's innocent, who obviously they don't follow God or the demon would have never got in them. But they're just a bystander, just a neutral. And the demon went in and let this guy who worships that demon cut him in line. So now that guy behind him's out of a job. So that guy used witchcraft to get a job. And it works, guys. So he used witchcraft to get a job. And destroyed this other guy to where he couldn't make any money. And in the next breath, this same guy saying, and I asked this demon to put its blessings on everyone I work with. So that's like doing more witchcraft on the other people, because while you're asking that demon to cut the other person, you're giving that demon authority over the neutrals who aren't protected by Christ. And this is why Satan owns everyone that's not protected by Christ. Secondly, what else I find stupid about this is he's walking around with this thing on his shoulder, and he's like, you are my protector. You are my protector. I don't know about you guys, but Jesus Christ holds my tomorrows, and no demon could touch me. So, and I don't have to walk around on the floor kneeling. I just got to give my whole life up. But this guy is asking for the demon of death to protect him. That's like asking this same like a mob routine. The mob comes and threatens you, and who do you go to for protection? The mob. Well, you see where I'm getting at? Satan controls the mob. Satan runs his empire like the mob. You got to go to Satan to protect yourself from Satan. And in this video, you got to go to the demon of death to protect you from Satan, who is Satan. Then if that doesn't work, you go to the Roman Catholic Church, who is Satan, to protect you from Satan. And the only smart ones are the Christians that know this racket. And everyone else is just comfortable being stupid. Let's keep watching.
It began in jails with prisoners, and especially prisoners related to drug dealers or to assassins, the kind of people that lost hope.
Yeah, and the kind of people also that wouldn't have been welcomed by the church.
Yes, yes, of course. That's why she is really the one that takes care of the people that the church, the official church, and the official virgin could never take.
Que vamos por decir así, los delincuentes, los homosexuales, todos ellos se acercan porque para ella no hay prejuicios, ricos y pobres, todos se van, ¿no? Todos nos tenemos que enfrentar a ella. Y en cambio dicen que la religión católica no, pues que hay cierto, que no entran en el cielo y que no entran todo eso. Entonces, ¿qué nos acercamos? ¿No? Buscamos la realidad un poco más que nos convenga.
This guy's saying, basically, he calls it the Catholic Church, but let's just pretend like it's legitimate Christianity for a second. This guy's saying, we don't like those rules where you have to be righteous. We want to make our own rules. So, homosexuals, haters of God, and people that are sinning against God, you know what? I'm not even going to call a homosexual a hater of God, even though biblically they are. I'll just call them lost and sinners, even though they might not know they're sinning. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. He's saying that all the homosexuals and drug users come onto this God. So this God is like a stumbling block for you to find the real God. Because if you can be a homosexual and have a God with a little grim reaper and a skull head, why do you need the real God? Oh, I just got a little Santa Muerte candle. I got a little Santa Muerte idol. I don't need Jesus Christ. I got an idol. And this is the problem, guys. Instead of that homosexual going in and getting deliverance, and sometimes the demon of homosexuality doesn't come out in one day, but I've had people manifest homosexuality who don't even know they have it in them, and I'm doing a deliverance on a tough guy, on like a regular dude, and all of a sudden we're not leaving him. We're not leaving him. We love him. And I'm like, who are you? I'm the demon of homosexuality. And like the guy's broken, they don't know what to do, and bam, it gets cast out, and their voice changes. Their voice changes. The demon leaves, and they're like, oh, I just can't believe it's gone. And I'm like, do you realize you have a new voice? Do you realize that? No, I don't. Praise God, you have a new voice. Let's keep watching.
Like many of these devotees, Thomas believes that worshipping Saint Death is a continuation of the ancient Aztec culture.
Okay, guys, this is the only thing I agree with. It is a continuation of the ancient Aztec culture. They gave blood onto idols and demons, and so are these people. For once, I agree with this video.
Estamos volviendo a creer en lo que era antes lo que nos inculcaron nuestros ancestros, ¿no? Adorar a los muertos desde hace siglos, ¿no? Se les ponen ofrendas, pero eso lo hacíamos antes cada año y ahora lo estamos haciendo cada mes.
Yes, they did worship the dead for centuries. There's been Satanism since the beginning, and my Bible strictly prohibits you worshiping the dead. And while I'm at it, if you have any family heirlooms of dead people, get rid of them. Just get rid of them. I don't care how much you love the person. If the person's dead, don't keep anything from the person. A rabbit's foot, a baseball, a bullet, an urn, a necklace, a charm, anything. Get rid of things from dead people. They hold demons.
The effigies at Thomas's stall are not for sale. He sets them up here to prove his devotion.
Volvemos otra vez a lo nuestro, a buscar lo que es nuestro, lo que es natural, lo que no es imaginativo, ¿no? Lo natural es la vida, la muerte, el sol, la luz, todo la naturaleza, lo que ellos creían, todo lo que era la naturaleza.
This is what's left of the heart of the Aztec Empire in Mexico City. The Spanish conquistadors flattened the ancient capital and built the cathedral on top of its ruins.
Okay, guys, they built this cathedral on an ancient site, on top of an ancient site where there was a lot of blood sacrifice and all this other junk and pagan rituals. And if you do research, most of the Roman Catholic churches and all the main cathedrals were built on top of sacrifice sites. And what goes on even today in the Roman Catholic Church and other major churches, even the Orthodox is the same deal as the Roman Catholic. But what goes on under these cathedrals is satanic ritual sacrifice, where you're bringing your kids to church if you're Orthodox or Roman Catholic. When they lift that cup, that blood is tainted with the blood of human beings and animals that were sacrificed in the basement or in a hidden altar in the building. And this is what witches and Satanists do. And this is what your kids are baptized and confirmed into and initiated into if you're a Roman Catholic. But anyway, let's go back to watching this priest dressed in his druidic garb with all his followers worshipping idols.
Father Ruben Avila Enriquez scoffs at the idea that Saint Death has anything to do with the Aztecs.
¿No? Los antiguos tenían un culto a la muerte, pero era dentro de su idiosincrasia, dentro de su cultura, ¿no?
¿Y esto no es?
Pues, pero nosotros ya no estamos en la cultura prehispánica, nosotros ya hemos descubierto la verdad que es toda la revelación del Evangelio, que Jesucristo ha vencido con su resurrección, ha vencido a la muerte.
While the cult began in the criminal community, now all kinds of people come here asking for divine intervention. This woman became a believer 5 years ago after a run of bad luck.
Porque en sí me habían regalado una y la perdí. Y pues la verdad me empezó a ir un poquito mal. Y luego pues, tuve problemas en mi embarazo y de ahí empezó mi fe por ella. Y gracias a ella estoy aquí.
Okay, so somebody gave her an idol that a demon was invoked into. Then she lost it. Then bad things started happening to her and she lost her pregnancy. And now she attributes her well-being today to that same demon. That makes sense. Someone cursed you with an accursed item, like the Bible says. If you bring an accursed item into your house, you're accursed like that item. And then you lost that item, and that demon tore you apart because you didn't have an idol of it anymore, you weren't serving it anymore, and ruined a pregnancy. So you went and got another idol, and now you serve the demon again. Rather than turning to Jesus Christ for help, you go back to worshiping Satan. There's only one way out of this, guys. It's Jesus. It's the only way.
She now finds herself part of a rapidly growing congregation.
Porque pues, yo lo veo en mi casa. Antes la única que creía era ella. En ella era yo y ahora la mayoría. Toda mi familia está creyendo en ella y muchos conocidos están creyendo en ella. Que es bien milagrosa mi niña. Aquí le traigo.
Ah, tatuaje de ella.
Sí.
This area is called Tepito. It's often referred to as the roughest and most dangerous neighborhood in Mexico City. It's a thriving black market area where many survive on the proceeds of crime. As the afternoon wears on, a colorful set of characters settle in for the evening service.
Me ha concedido la libertad de la prisión. Me ha sacado varias veces de la prisión.
Okay, so this guy did a crime, went to prison, and then conjured up a demon to let him get out of prison. So now there's a criminal walking the street, and the demon did him a favor and let him go back on the street because he worshipped the prison. You're going to see here other girls, they got tattoos. The father was in prison and made the girl get a big tattoo of the demon of death, and so the demon of death would release it from jail. And guys, if you think this doesn't happen, you're insane. I know for a fact it happens. There are people that are in prison and give their family outside sacrifices a human onto a demon to go get the person out of jail. All of a sudden something comes up in the courthouse, the papers are messed up, and they send a lawyer down there and they say, you're free. We messed up the evidence, we couldn't file it. You're free. Something stupid, something like that happens. This is the kind of power the spirits have in this world.
Muy bonito. ¿Y por qué lo ha hecho?
Por una promesa para que mi papá saliera del reclusorio.
Sí,
Me la cumplió. Que es muy milagroso.
Sean breves, por favor, que viene gente hincada, por favor, señorita. Si fuera tan amable de hacerse a un lado.
Enriqueta claims she was an early devotee, worshipping Saint Death in private for decades. Then she put the altar in a window of her house and watched it become an important pilgrimage site. But she plays down the spiritual influence she's had on this community.
Yo nada más la negocia es que yo puse el altar, nada más. Pero no soy líder, no soy nada.
Entrar y salir, por favor, entrar y salir. Sean breves, por favor, gracias.
Muy buenas. Entonces mucha gente que acude a ese lugar o que da culto a la Santa Muerte es gente que no conoce bien su cristianismo, su doctrina. Entonces la confunde, va creando una doctrina de conveniencia, buscando sobre todo pues una especie de protección, ¿verdad? De protección, porque eso también va unida a la magia, va unida al esoterismo.
Father Enriquez is tracking the cult's dramatic growth.
Pues está creciendo.
So there's a statue of Lucifer with the sunburst over his head in the middle of this guy's church, and he's saying that they're confused worshiping the demon of death, and that there's magic linked to their religion, while there's a big statue of Lucifer in this guy's church, and he doesn't even know it's Lucifer. And his church, the demonists, the ones worshiping Santa Muerte have their heads a little more screwed on straight than this idiot, dressed like a druid, claiming that he's not serving Satan while he is. At least the other ones know they're serving an idol. This guy thinks he's serving Jesus Christ.
Siendo, ¿verdad? Con la gente que siempre está en riesgo de perder la vida, ¿no? Repito, los narcotraficantes, los violadores, las prostitutas, la gente hasta cierto punto del inframundo en este sentido, ¿no?
This is why these people are worshiping demons, because the church down there looks at them as they're part of the underworld. And this is the same deal in the Roman Catholic Church in the United States. When I first got demonized, I went into the Roman Catholic Church and they wanted to put me in a mental hospital within 15 minutes. Then I went to a real Christian church and they cast the demons out. So, go figure.
Although he is concerned, Father Enriquez is confident they will always eventually return to the Catholic Church.
Y al darse cuenta de que es un engaño, ¿verdad? De la falsedad de esto, pues termina por abandonarlo. Y eso es muy frecuente.
That's weird, because when a Roman Catholic realizes that the Roman Catholic Church is a con and they abandon it, that often happens too. And they wake up. So it's funny, he feels the same way about Santa Muerte devotees.
People in Mexico have been experiencing such a tremendous change. The change of beliefs, change of the way the life used to be, and they cannot understand precisely what is going on. So I think it's very, very normal that they go to a different cult to see, to try, as the priest told you, to try. Maybe it works.
La Santa está presente. La Santa está presente. Se siente.
Back at the altar, the there's no sign of anyone wavering in their faith.
Entrar y salir, por favor, entrar y salir. Entrar y salir, por favor.
La gente viene formada. Si fueran tan amables, váyanse a formar. No se vayan a meter, la gente viene formada, respétenla.
It's really amazing the courtesy at the little altars of the demon of death. They're very courteous people.
The amount of money generated here is incredible. The cost of the flowers and candles alone would run into the thousands of dollars. As the donation boxes circulate, it's clear this has become a successful family business for Enriqueta. Her husband takes the money and mans the souvenir stall, and her son acts as high priest.
Le vamos a hacer presente a la Santísima Muerte y le vamos a pedir.
Here I was thinking Jesus Christ is the high priest around here. And we got like Chachki over here and his witchcraft mother that made an altar, and they're running a racket selling idols to every Mexican south of the border. I mean, you can see how they just fraudulate and copy everything out of the Bible. Is fraudulate a word?
Por todos nuestros enfermos, por todas las embarazadas, por toda aquella gente que se encuentra en un lado en los hospitales, para que la Santísima Muerte los cura con su santo manto y les devuelva su salud muy pronto. Pueden hacer su petición en estos momentos en silencio.
The service went on like this for 1 hour.
Le decimos Santísima Muerte Protectora. Santísima Muerte Protectora. Santísima Muerte. Ruega por nosotros. Santísima Muerte. Ruega por nosotros. Cordero de Dios.
The final act is to form a human chain, linking everyone in the crowd to the altar.
Relájense y concéntrense. Visualicen a la Santísima Muerte en su mente. Y visualicen el problema que tiene cada uno de ustedes. Y pónganselo en las manos a la Santísima Muerte para que ella se lo resuelva.
Whether or not the cult continues to grow depends on the way that Mexico responds.
Okay, I've had enough of the mumbo jumbo. Let's boil this down. Let's boil this down to its rawest form, guys. This is Satan worship. Anybody south of the border that worships this demon, I'm going to challenge you, okay? You give the demon some blood, you pray against me, heap some witchcraft on me, heap some more, you could add it on to all the other witchcraft that's against me, and we'll see if the power of Jesus Christ keeps me, okay? I'll prove to you, you can watch this video, you can do any kind of witchcraft you want against the power of Jesus Christ, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if I'm still alive or I die of witchcraft, okay? And if I don't, you guys should come to Jesus because I want you to be saved,